Bharat has very clearly rebutted Team Trump's claims on trade deal and said it was in a wait-and-watch mode on the tariff threat. The Ministry of External Affairs said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had spoken to US President Donald Trump 8 times in 2025 amid strained New Delhi-Washington DC ties over the free trade agreement. His remarks came shortly after US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's assertion that US-India FTA negotiations had stalled because PM Modi didn't call President Trump. Donald Trump backed a 500% tariff bill on Russian oil, which could impact Bharat's crude imports. The MEA stated that it is fully aware of the proposed bill being discussed and is carefully monitoring all developments connected with it. Listen in.
Sheet the contracts and set the whole deal up. But let's be clear. It's his deal.
Yeah.
Okay? He's the closer. He does the deal. So I said, you got to have Modi. It's all set up. You have to have Modi call the president. And they were uncomfortable doing it. So Modi didn't call.
Incidentally, Prime Minister and President Trump have also spoken on phone on 8 occasions during 2025, covering different aspects of our wide-ranging partnership.
Well, Lieutenant General D.B. Pandey, security analyst, Glenn Carl, former CIA officer, Sunil Alag, market strategist and managing director of SK Advisors with us. We should also have Ambassador Rajiv Dogra join us in a bit. But first, let's try and understand how do we look at this? Is this pure bluster? The 500% tariff, will it even get passage via the, how do I say, the US Congress and the Senate? Will it get approval from the Senate, this 500% tariff bill, Sunil Alag? Or is it a message to Bharat now?
Look, I mean, message to Bharat is to China and Russia. What he's done is where might is right. He's taken over Venezuela, acting president. And he's said about Greenland that he's going to do it. And now the bill says 50% to 500%. Now, let him try and do 500% to us. But if he does that, then he's in deep trouble because he has said to various people that, look, there's a midterm poll coming up. And Republicans, he's approached them saying that if Democrats rule the House of Representatives, he's bound to be sued. And therefore, he is now preparing for the middle part. And that's what I feel that, look, up to 500% doesn't mean a damn thing to India. Up to 500% means what? He likes Modi, he said 50%, our stuff which is there, we are used to 50%. Now, if he increases it any further, then we are getting closer, he's driving us closer to China and Russia. That's what he's doing. But as far as he's concerned, Russian oil, he said, do not buy from these companies and the following companies, and Reliance has already said we're not buying from them. So now we followed a lot of things because Modi has decided that, look, he is going to now play not just a waiting game, but if he increases it any further, then America is asking for trouble.
Glenn Carl, how would you see this? Weaponizing of trade and to make these claims? Is it all around one man's ego now?
The short answer is yes. Trump's policies and philosophy, and I'm not being facetious here, consist of his ego. He thinks in the moment. Whatever he believes makes him appear strong, makes people pay attention to him, or he thinks can extort, force a concession from whoever he's dealing with. In a zero-sum world, is what he will do. Now, that said, and he believes in tariffs. He does not understand economics or trade, and he thinks that mercantilism and autocracy is the only strong way and sensible way to run an economy and a country. But all that said, he also, if not a coward, is a pragmatist. In a sense, he recognizes reality. So people have wondered why the American economy hasn't shown many effects from the tariffs he's imposed. And the reason is because he talks about 50% tariffs or 500% tariffs, and the effective tariff rate for all countries is about 10 or 15% above what it was before. So it's much less in truth than it is in his rhetoric. And I expect that that is how it will play out with India.
No, but then what about any rules-based order? Or is it now kosher for nations to weaponize trade and play this game? It's open and brazen. This allows other hegemonistic powers to go ahead and openly conduct themselves in the same manner. Glenn Carl, and then...
That's absolutely the case. I'm sorry to jump in, but this is really an important point. I'll try to be brief.
Yeah.
I've been saying, as many others have been saying for years, but certainly it's one of my main statements, is that Trump has no interest in or appreciation for whatsoever the post-1945 normative rules-based order. Imperfect as it was, nonetheless, everyone should see the global benefits that it provided really to everybody. But he doesn't want any of that. And yes, might makes right now, and he is accepting and fostering a sphere of influence world where the United States dominates the Americas, China will dominate Asia, and Russia, it's near abroad, with European struggling to unify and the global South thinking that it's getting good deals bilaterally, but progressively being disenfranchised and victimized.
General Pandey?
Yeah, so unfortunately, like so many others, I'm quite fond of Trump because I'm a soldier. And what I like about him is that he's cut out all the facade which was being done previously by multinational, those so-called rule-based orders in which the colonialism continued to be, pushed down on the world. Rest of the world by a few powerful people. And I think, second, please understand that he's also realist. He understands how to use word, how to use narrative, how to put fear. The unfortunate part with India, what has happened is that possibly he has understood Modi, and that is why possibly he's not tried to push him publicly in a manner the way he's actually done so many other. And maybe Modi and his team who's guiding him have also understood that in case you're going to go on a telephone call and go and meet Trump, the way, he was called from the G7 meet and Modi did not take the offer. A couple of times this has happened. So there are two shrewd realists. One is brazenly open, and second understands what is going to happen if I publicly talk to him, and that balancing act is happening. So Trump is truly realist. He also knows to keep a line open to India, but please understand the Indian government has to look after 1.4 billion people. I totally agree with Glenn when you look at the market fluctuation and all. When you talk of 50%, 75% tariffs have got implications which actually, when you start rolling down, it has got a double implication for the country, which is also putting on sanctions on you. So while our economy will be able to absorb those so-called shocks, but the duplicity which was in play by the top world countries is totally exposed. The question I will just put across is that why does European Union has not yet sanctioned the natural gas and LNG till now? They continue to fuel Putin's war chest, in case so is called, because there's a large number in almost all countries of European Union continue to take this thing. Even America, even Trump, by his own admission, is buying very, very important assets from the Russians. And Putin has come out very clearly and said that my trade with you has risen by about 40%.
Here's the thing, General Saab. What my point is, what are we doing to actively expose the US hypocrisy in terms of a concerted campaign to call Trump's bluff or the establishment's bluff? Are we losing the narrative war? Because, and Sunil Alagh, that's where, not just as a trade pundit, but also as a brand advisor. Are we doing enough amount of lobbying? Are we ensuring the likes of Navarro, Lutnick, etc. don't make these statements? One. Secondly, are we exposing Trump's hypocrisy, European Union's hypocrisy, beyond the comments of Minister Jaishankar and some comments from some of the ambassadors? What are we doing to take it to the masses? Gee.
What we have to do now with the Trump is that if you go openly against him, he's going to raise the tariff. He's going to take it up to 100%, 200%. So what Modi is doing, what our Prime Minister is doing, is that he's keeping quiet. He's keeping quiet because it's stuck at 50%. No matter what he says, what he does, openly, he's coming across, he's taken Venezuela and he's said about Greenland and he's called that Gulf of Mexico into Gulf of America. He's called everything. But Modi is not saying a word because there's no point in challenging Trump right now and then saying against him, because if you go out open against him, see, we might be doing a number of things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm unaware of those, whether we are lobbying with all the cabinet and everything that America has. Look, we are staying away from everything. What Modi has been doing it very well is that he stayed away from, because openly if he's challenging Trump and he goes into EU, then he'll raise it. Trump is that kind of guy. He understands him better than he understands us. So therefore, he is going to drive us. If he increases the tariff, he's driving us towards China and Russia. What are they saying? What are they saying is right now, whether it's Pakistan, which is coming up in the armed forces, they might give arms to China, would give arms if there's an attack. But they are not starting another war against us at this point of time. So therefore, Mr. Modi is playing. India is 7.5%. Some people say it's 7%. Some people say it's 7.5%. GDP growth. We are a player in the world, and Modi realizes it. And therefore, opposing Trump openly is pointless.
Right.
Absolutely pointless. Now, unless we have the midterm polls, which America is going to face right now, and if they vote against Modi, they vote against Trump, then we have to think about it. But if they vote for Trump, then all the Republicans come into power. Then all the Democrats see. New York is an example of Mamdani is becoming Democrats. They are coming in now, and if by midterm poll, he is promised that, look, they are going to sue me. Everyone is going to court against him in America. And why are they going to court? Because we are doing things behind the scene. We are not openly opposing Trump. There's no point in opposing Trump openly because he's going to change his mind every month, every 2 months he's changing his mind.
No. So what are we doing consistently, and do we also as a nation need to think beyond our dependence on US trade? Should we need to very actively, openly spread open our power portfolio, increase our entire export basket across nations, and should we do it like yesterday rather than day after tomorrow? I'm parking that thought. I'm sorry, I've got to wind this up quickly, shorten this, truncate this a bit because we've got